over G2. Do you agree?
Honestly, with how they've been looking so far, going through all, the top of the upper bracket, beating every single team in their path, not almost dropping any maps, this should be W7M's clubhouse in the back for sure. But it all comes down to what you do in the server. The desk spoke about operator expectations, G2 banned the Mira, and maybe W7M banning out the Valkyrie. Well, one is true so far. 2 for 2.
What sort of a statement is this if G2 can hang tough? Let's ignore the idea of them even winning.
Okay.
Let's say that that's outrageous. This is a formality. We'll grind through this matchup on Clubhouse. G2 will lose. W7M will win. Hold on a second. Just wanted to get the crowd into it. You've all been fantastic this weekend, by the way. It's the most delayed, self-congratulatory, we're good, woo I've ever heard. But you've done great.
Yeah, they have.
It was a nice touch, by the way, when they had the desk walk down and do the phone selfie.
It was lovely.
Very, very nice. Very first defense for G2 as we get into this match. 5 maps potentially on the docket, downstairs in basement.
5 seconds left.
But it's almost a full roam from G2. Poor old Virtue. Australian, he's quite literally upside down. The map is upside down. He's playing to his strengths.
The thing about G2 is that they're hard to contain when they're on the defensive half because they play so aggressive into the line of the attackers. I think the big question mark for this matchup, for this grand finals, is who is going to be the better team on attack? Because both W7M and G2 play a very similar style on defense. It's all about getting up in the opponent's face and fighting early on in these rounds. It makes perfect sense for G2 to choose this basement bomb site, but get aggressive on the roam, apply pressure everywhere, reinforce those external walls, and hold on to the top floor.
What's the win condition for G2 outside of what you just said? Main focus.
Adaptation. W7M, they have so much experience, right? Julio leading the charge. The better team in this matchup is who can adapt the most throughout the series and counter the counter, if you know what I mean.
What if I didn't?
Well, then it's too bad.
Okay. I know what you mean.
Good. It's a slow start so far for W7M. They're taking it cautiously in this first round.
Was Benja a little bit too slow? W7M will look to pop this bubble of the defense upstairs. You said apply some pressure. Benja could go for a jump out on the KZ right now. That's exactly what happens. Get under their skin. Virtue taken out as Herds is in the middle of the bomb site. W7M have read into this so well. G2 have to retake now. They've been caught wanting, and Herds can box them out. Now JV92 on this sends on a collision course down through blue. Looks the wrong way, losing the duel, but he trades it. W7M to enter through escape tunnel, dirt tunnel. There's no escape right now. Herds still in the middle of the bomb site. Julio has the diffuser, control of the bomb site for W7M, reaching about 45 seconds now.
Yeah. Door opened up, Nate going out. This is going to be the entry point. Blur forced back.
Oh, and Ali Mao gunned down. This is the lockout that they wanted. Blur gets 1 kill. It's all up to Benja. W7M, the triumphant start that they were looking for. Volp's now holding on to the diffuser as Julio had died earlier on. That leaves Herds, who's now been in here for quite some time to wait, sit pretty. He'll catch Benja, but Volps does it first. W7M take round 1.
Herds with a beautiful opening. Finds the weakness, thinking there are so many people off the bomb site. I wonder, could I just walk on in, find that isolated member of Virtue on the smoke, take him down and say, guys, the bomb site is clear. You see it, great opening. The aggression from G2 was there, but they were outread and outsmarted strategically on this opening round. A beautiful trade between JV92 and Doki. That wasn't a trade, and either side came out on top. They would have just really made it more difficult for the losing side.
Really was. I mean, this happens to teams when they extend a little bit too much on this bomb site and on this map in particular. Wow, that's a nice shot by Volps. Good Lord. Didn't get to see it from his perspective, but when you do, it's a thing of beauty. If you're going to invest so heavily on that top floor, if you're going to put 4 players off the bomb site, that's fine. But you need to ensure that your anchor can A, defend themselves, and B, Sound the alarms when things go real bad. And I think G2 got that message, but they were just too extended at that point.
Yeah.
And the thing with a team like W7M is that if you on defense are not playing intel operators, you don't know where W7M is at that point in the match. In that particular round, they could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easy for Benjamaster to try to get back to the bomb site. It's easy for Blur to try to get back to the bomb site. But what if you run into W7M in the process?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always a mixture of, it's a fine line. If you go too fast back to the bomb site, let's say Doki was sprinting in that blue corridor, he dies for nothing to JV92, but W7M, they're reading into the same attack in the same similar way, right? Fast entry, down the blue stairs, just poke your head and see, is it clear this time again? If they find Virtue, they can rush the bomb site. He's all alone.
Once again, and W7M are in, but Virtue wins it this time. Problem is, here comes the cavalry. W7M riding strong through the middle of the site. And they've got the back of this bomb site all theirs, but wait a minute, Virtue makes something work of it as both teams trade back. Down goes Benja inside of blue, an early funeral. What a tempo from W7M that we see. That's only the first minute. 5 players are gone. Doki losing out on an opportunity, turns sideways from Moto, and Blur dies from the same place that Benja went down. 2 in a row from W7M, the second quicker than the first.
You always have to think about as a player in the server, okay, if you're G2, well, they rushed the first time, they're not gonna do it again. And for W7M, they're gonna go, actually, we are, but this time with more manpower. And even though Virtue found 2 kills on the bomb side, because there was 4 members next to each other from W7M, they overman him. And they get the control, and then again, G2 are playing retake. It's counter-stratting, perfectly done from W7M.
Common sense suggests if you go back to the same bomb site twice in a row, the reason for it is because you see small adaptations making a huge difference. I asked you the win condition for G2, you said adaptations. They did not adapt in that second round at all.
No, they were equally far off the second time around. I mean, sure, they came back quicker, but they also died quicker, right? So you're sprinting into the arms of your opponent, and that's not going to bode well for you ever in Rainbow Six Siege. So a bomb site change is needed. Gonna go upstairs to CCTV instead, and immediately, Julio, he says, I got another solution for you. The Monty, right? Simplify things. If you want to attack that catwalk, garage, rafters, just walk in with the extended shield. No one can really do anything against you. There's no smoke from G2. You got Lesion, that's Virtue, you got a C4 and some impact grenades, but the Monty should be relatively safe, and of course, also protected by his teammates throughout this round.
Look at this split execute going out right now. There's a Nook on the board in the hands of none other than Herds. He's been so phenomenal through this entire event. He's got to be one of W7M's win condition, if not the win condition. If Herds can do to G2 what he's done to every other team so far, well, good luck, G2, because you're definitely going to need it. You might have just spotted the Mozzie, the rest of the team. Scanning from all around, Benja might be in trouble. He's got Blur for backup.
Yeah, Hertz trying to play the backstabbing role rather. The issue is those doors being barricaded, they act as intel. He knows he can't break them because he'll make too much noise. Meanwhile, the main side struggling with the breach. 1 ADS, second nade should go out shortly.
Doki, what are you doing? How does he pull that off and walk away from it? The killing begins.
The second claw.
Gets it. There goes that valuable utility on the exothermic charge. Volp still has 1 remaining, but things get tougher now for W7M. They have to waste some utility to backpedal. That's a smoke expended from Julio, the Monty. He wanted those rafter stairs.
Yeah.
Put pressure on the secondary part of the bomb site. Get that exothermic charge off. Force the defenders back into cache, free up the top of rafters. But G2 read into that. That's an adaptation that G2 succeeds in.
Yeah, the Muncie picked for the garage attack, but that can't even happen now. We gotta rotate across the map, and Herds, he doesn't find the kill.
That's an ugly one. Losing it to Benjamaster. G2 poised, but Volps is there. 5 kills for him. If you don't have Herds doing the work, you got Volps to do it instead. 1 minute left in the Monty, along with Volps. Well, they're gonna work hand in hand through construction. No denial other than a nitro cell from G2. Unless, of course, you count goo mines as denial, which they can very much be. providing your opponents step into them.
Not gonna be the case this time. Julio sees it and takes it out. Monty could have scored the Volps into the bombs up. The crossfire between Virtue and Blur on top right and Catwalk is hard to deal with.
The sound of the Monty is gonna be deafening to these G2 players. Julio gets flashed by his own teammate. Volps depleted his secondary utility. Shield out, the pistol does so well, and this is Julio reunited with the shields that he used to be so dominant on. But he's running out of time amidst the smoke. He'll have to go for the diffuser plant. Off it, there goes an impact. He's actually pulling it off quite well, but it's the double stab from Virtue. G2's on the board after the mayhem that was that third round.
CCTV is such a strange bomb site. If you get that external server wall opened up, it's relatively easy. But when you don't achieve step number 1, there's almost no way to reach that second step of garage attack.
That whole round really began with Doki deciding to challenge the window. Saw the player from W7M drop. Believe it was KZ, I could be wrong, amidst that fray that happened. But Doki decided to challenge the window. Why?
I mean,
it's a really remarkable thing. He gets the electric claw off, denies one side of the bomb site, pivots towards the window, but denies the player on the other side of it. Excellent utility work. Taking matters into his own hands. Bit of a technical pause right now. Player cams needing to be fixed just ever so slightly.
Okay. Of course, both teams, they cannot talk to their coach during this, but they can talk amongst each other as players. Bomb site rotation for G2 has to be high on the priority list, right? Do you go back to basement, do you go bar, do you go gym? Because they're all 4 bomb sites on Clubhouse, super playable. It all comes down to where you feel like you are the strongest or where you feel like you can deal with the opponent's strategies easier. We've seen basement twice, didn't work out, so it could be a basement turtle strat rather than an aggressive roam. And W7M, is up to them to then adapt to that strategical change from G2 themselves. We saw it so far, beautiful adaptation from W7M. They actually have an interesting system within the team. They have the main IGL of somebody like Julio, who will call the shots, lead the team, etc. But then Hertz actually is the anti-IGL against the opponent. So his entire job, besides just killing everybody in the server, is also to come up with solutions to problems that the opponents might present you. So countering what they're going to be doing. So instead of having a front and back leadership, they have a front leadership and a complete counter leadership as well.
That's a lot of leadership.
So much leadership.
G2 winning 2 rounds on this first half of Clubhouse. On defense, I mean, that's not where they want to be. It seems like every single time we talk about a map, we have to say the same set of phrases. In this case, every single map is defender-sided.
That's still the case? Hasn't changed?
Let me crunch those numbers for you here.
All right,
Hold on a second, I'm crunching them. That is not correct.
No?
No.
No?
You want to take a guess? Take a guess. I'm going to keep you guessing.
Wait, what was a skyscraper's attack?
There's one map, Nick. There's one map that has lost the distinction after the numbers have been crunched.
Oh wait, theme park.
Nope.
I don't know then.
You think theme park is a
Well, we saw 7 zeros yesterday. Border, someone said.
You're right.
Oh.
I don't know who it is, but give a round of applause for that person. Getting it right. Random person in the crowd, great job.
You can take my spot right here next time. I'm sorry.
They might have to if Fabian wins again.
That's true.
You promised the people you'd go play?
No, I said challenge. It could be a coach. He's a coach. He doesn't have 3-player trophies.
The point is that you're not going to be casting. Don't be obtuse.
Okay. Pinku coach.
Thank you, coach.
Who do I coach? What team do I coach? Someone said G2. Astralis.
Call-out's a better coach than you'd ever be.
True and factual. He also lives much here and I do in the gym.
It's true.
We shared a session the other night. It was fantastic.
Oh, nobody cares.
Whatever.
Nobody cares.
Promoting good health habits here, Parker.
Border is correct, 49 to 51%. The round differential for defenders to attackers. Clubhouse overwhelmingly defender-sided, 57% Of all 281 rounds played, the most played map here at the Six Invitational, played 25 times. That is quite the number. 57% for the defense, 43 for the attackers. The most defender-sided of all the bomb sites. You want to take a guess? We're gonna keep guessing.
Oh God. Wait,
most defender-sided
on Clubhouse or overall?
All 4 bomb sites on Clubhouse.
It's CCTV, right?
You're correct.
Yeah, there it is. I remember from group stage, it's like a weird stat that we had.
71% of all rounds won by the defenders on cache CCTV. G2 just added to that tally. Church and Arsenal, 53% of rounds for the defense, 47 for the attackers. The attackers have won both attempts so far, and there will be yet another attempt. Third time to go to this bomb site in 4 rounds. Do you think this is just a deficiency of G2's site rotation?
I mean, honestly, the adaptation is there now, right? They've changed their defending operator lineup. They're playing more passive on the bomb site. The claws to deny the hatches, forcing out Julio on the Maverick to answer back, because W7M, they don't want to rely on those secondary EMPs. It's not always reliable, but Maverick is. Goyo canisters, again, to deny the bomb site if time goes low. C4s, plant deny. But it was fresh on the desk saying that W7M is one of the best, if not the best team on Clubhouse. Well, they have to prove that now, adapting from a roam-heavy basement to a turtle basement, all playing around denying the plant. If they get that diffuser down, they succeed.
I mean, W7M already read into this. It's a different take and attempt for them. Nice electro shuffle on the hatch. Denying the last of those ex-Kairos that had been shot out. There's still 6 more to go, so Herds can very easily open it up. Wonder if he's going to try around the hatch, and that's exactly it. Will the explosive radius work?
Yep.
Oh! It gets the electroclaw, but it does not open up the hatch. Now the final 4 need to go down. A lot of utility going. No impacts in the back pocket of anybody but Ali Mao, but he's not in a position to contest. They're going to let that hatch open up. As Julio goes to work on that bar hatch. Oh. There it is. KZ, the first pick as well. Things going according to plan. W7M looking to charge into the site from blue. That was Doki next in line after Benjamaster was displaced and then deceased.
Yeah. Now that 5 versus 4, of course, heavily favoring the team with the lead, and that's going to be W7M. They look towards Church Motor jump, but back inside that main stairs and kitchen area. They have yet to decide where they want to execute. Still got 40 seconds left to go. The Goyo canisters and the 3 toxic babes in Pocket of Blur are going to be important in this round.
JV on this sense again. That teal smoke screen is gonna go out and obscure. Volp sledging his way in, that's the diffuser in his hands. JV taking some serious damage. Canisters lose. They don't hit where they need to, or can't shut them down. Look at this lockout from W7M. It's perfect. Not a single death for the Brazilian squad.
That certainly is one of the best looking attack rounds of Clubhouse we have ever seen. It is so flawless. They fake the executed blue and Church Motor door while Volp's plans back of B bomb site. And we might think to ourselves, there's no cover. If Blur gets past the second box, he dies. But no, there is cover. Last member saves them on that kitchen hatch, shuts down Blur. Everything was thought of from W7M. No gaps whatsoever in their attack.
They were everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, all at the same time. Volp's phenomenal so far. 6-1 on the map so far, with objective play as well. There's a reason why this team is the best in the world at the moment.
That's G2's timeout, by the way.
It is.
Yeah. Now, last time these 2 teams, they squared off back in the group stage, there was 1 round between who the winner and the loser was going to be. It was a 7-4 victory for G2 and map number 1 of Bank, a 7-5 victory on Cafe to W7M, then an 8-7 going in W7M's favor. 1 round separating these 2 teams. Now, they're in a rematch. And one thing is similar. On 2 out of 3 maps, W7M had a 3-1 or 3-0 lead in the first 4 rounds. That same pattern is here. We've just seen 4 rounds being played out, and again, they're up 3-1. Building those early leads, and normally when they do that, they tend to win the map.
Lots of trades involving these teams for these first duels as well. Big difference was how those two bomb sites downstairs played out through rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah.
A trade right away as G2 could get back to the bomb site fast enough second time around. They got that uncontested first pick. W7M looking to get 4 of these 6 rounds with one more round after this. That would give them quite a nest egg. But on this map, again, you expect the defenders to win at minimum 3, but usually 4 rounds. G2's accomplished just 1 of that. Their ceiling now is 3 rounds. Best team on Clubhouse at this entire tournament. Speculation as to whether or not this is the best team in the world on Clubhouse. No way. Hold on. Oh, Benja misses him. Julio's gone through kitchen. Oh, and he gives himself away. Julio knows it now. And he's taking damage through that stage wall. Now it's Benja everywhere, all over the map as he hits the deck and runs through the basement. Scurrying off.
Bit of a misthrown there from Julio, almost cost him his life. And he's played, what, 4 or 5 different attack numbers so far? The Maverick, the Monty, the Capital. Really flexing it around now. Heavily being around the execute, of course, with these operators. Jacuzzi wall being opened up. That's Maverick once again from JV92. It's a slow start for W7M, but they're getting their first objective securely done, unlike that CCTV attack.
Oh, 3 silhouettes all close to Julio down below. G2 may not know what lies in wait. Julio had taken some damage earlier on from that play towards stage. Now Herds is taking damage here and there. Ali Mao will have to wait even longer to find his first kill. He's losing out to his fellow countrymen. G2 on the board though after losing Carl. Virtue down, Doki looking for something. Nice shot by him. W7M emerge. Scathed but still upright. Herds a beautiful shot on the Blur. Benja in a 1v3. Good lord, this W7M team looks so sharp. The timeout does nothing.
No, not at all. And honestly, this could just be Clubhouse, but so far it really looks like W7M, they came into this with a clear strat in mind. You know, G2, they went through lower bracket. They've played a lot of games the last 2 or 3 days, and they had the same way to win most of those rounds. The early aggression defense, and then the attacking team trying to deal with it. Well, W7M, they're going for these straight bomb site executions. Then there are 2 or 3 roamers off the bomb site itself. And once W7M, they can get inside, well, the retake is just too much for G2. It's a great attempt for them, but again, the bomb site is completely locked down by the attackers, and shortly, the diffuser will go down, or they'll get that final kill in the round, as we saw from Casey here on Benja. It's excellently done. And G2, they need to adapt. They cannot just keep losing to direct bomb site attacks. But the one time they heavily focused the bomb site that we just saw 2 rounds ago, that basement turtle, was a flawless for W7M as well. So now you gotta play the in-between. You can't play overly aggressive because the bomb site falls apart. Well, you can't play on the bomb site because W7M's execute is simply just too good, too strong. So now that middle ground has to be played out. Little bit off the bomb site, challenge a little bit, stall for time, then get back. Don't allow W7M enough time to execute.
Spoke with G2 before the grand finals, and Fabian, along with the rest of the coaching staff, Fabian's own words. We feel very confident. I believe he said something similar to you when you spoke with him?
Very confident.
And he was happy with the maps, was what he said. Now, I wonder if he's still happy knowing that you have to go to Clubhouse first. Because Fabian's been here long enough to know that the calculus could be, we lose Clubhouse, we know that. It's a foregone conclusion. Maybe not this round with Virtue getting the first pick on the JV92. But you lose Clubhouse and then you look towards Bank, you look towards Cafe, and you look towards Oregon and you say, all right, that's where we've got a fighting chance. Maybe not, maybe they thought they'd do better on Clubhouse. Already a better start on this round with 2 picks on the Herds and JV92. As this extended roam from G2, working out, and they haven't fallen off it just yet. Benja still above. Engaging with Volps.
Oh my god.
That's a mag dump, and he'll need the reload. Doing lots of damage. Now you know if you're W7M, you have to be worried about somebody on flank. Julio engages. Unfortunately for Benjamaster, just a little too high and to the left.
Doesn't get the wall bang. A great start by G2. Roaming as a pack, and then the second strike from Benja above. He doesn't find the kill, but does a bit of damage into Volps. And now Hibana being gone, that is a huge one. Maverick as well. There is no kite on the board, no, but the X-Kairos, you cannot get all the hatches opened up. Blue, bar, and kitchen all reinforced in G2. They have just spent the last impact grenade onto Doki. They don't have any hatches to deny, but there's only one exothermic charge left for Julio. They don't have much to work with. It's just going to be a blue attack.
I mean, if there's any team that can bail themselves out of a bad situation by fragging, it's W7M. G2 have done it before as well. But round after round, even if the strategy isn't there for W7M, which it usually is there, this is a team full of 5 players who can clobber you in terms of gun duels. They'll test their mechanical skill. Toxic gas lingering in front of KZ. That was the logic bomb that had gone out. KZ with no utility left. Virtue looks the wrong way. KZ, an easy pick. Ian Volps topping the team at 7 kills apiece.
Julio, where are you going?
Volps was waiting far back in oil pit as well. Surely there's no way they're going to reposition with 15 seconds left.
15 seconds to go.
It sure seems that might be the case. KZ walks into the bomb site, diffuser in his hands, but G2 are there to answer back. And it's a ring around the rosy for the last couple players of G2. They've got the pocket full of Posey.
Look how close that is though, right? Comes down to the wire when it really shouldn't have. Julio, I guess he got the call that dirt wall was soft or something like that, and it could have gone on in, but it was double reinforced. He did not have any exothermic charges left.
The first half in the books, Nick.
Yep.
Shall I run us through them?
Do it, please.
W7M winning 4 rounds, one of which was won flawlessly. G2 being involved in the first pick, either uncontested or as a trade, 5 of those 6 rounds. But the overwhelming majority were trades. These teams were so evenly matched that the moment you get a pick, it's usually answered back. That's been a telltale sign of G2 when you were on the team. Ooh. I guess old habits die hard. As for W7M, objective play on 2 rounds. G2 going to 3 bomb sites. Church was played 4 times. That's the basement bomb site. Cash and Jim emerging once apiece. W7M's turn to attack, and if you look at the stats and assume the numbers don't lie, they have the map tilting in their favor now, and they're going to go to a bomb site that the defenders know quite well, the most played bomb site by almost twice as much as Jim and Bedroom in second place. The bomb site being Church Arsenal down on the bottom floor.
These doors being barricaded. Again, it's a great counter to Nuke because you don't have information. Valkyrie's banner, of course, even if you did, Nuke's gadget, well, you're invisible to those cameras. The aggression from both teams on the defensive side, it's how they play every single round.
Doki thought he was being cheeky, but KZ reads into it. W7M the first pick. They were roaming aggressively. Guess what? They've now made it safely back to the site.
Yeah.
Only one player disconnected from those 2 parts of the map, and it was in Dirt Tunnel?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're still close enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're attached to the bomb side, and as I said, what you gotta watch out for is W7M's attack, because both G2 and W7M, they play so similarly on the defensive side, and it's so hard to attack against. You're always under pressure, you're never safe, and the moment that they get the advantage, they fall back and play it smart, right? Now there's only 1 frag grenade from Elamau on the board because Doki died on the Nuke, so all you have to work with, 9 flashbangs, 1 nade, and then you somehow have to out-frag the lineup of W7M on basement.
There's a reason why W7M are the most feared team at this entire event. And if you ask most experts here and most of the other teams, they would tell you that W7M are probably going to win the whole thing. Oh no, JV does not seem to be aware. Ali Mao looked like he'd missed. He does it on the next couple shots. That advantage was for W7M. It's gone. 2 bodies from G2 inside a dirt tunnel. There goes the nade. KZ could have rebuffed it, but it sails right over him. It's the bullets that do the work instead. Now the toxic gas will linger. Ali Mao to keep them away from the site. He's got multiple bodies to look at. He comes alive when you need it. There's a bit of that Brazilian magic, Nick, just on the edge of the gas as it creeps in. Diffuser goes down. Volp's in the line of fire from Ali Mao, who charges on up. But W7M have something to say about that. Volps will need to clutch. What appears to be an attacker-sided clubhouse continues onwards. G2 take their first round on attack.
A round-saving nade from Alamau. He only had one in pocket. He was smart. He asked for a flashbang to check for an ADS or a one-my magnet. And once the coast was clear, tossed out the grenade, got the injure onto the Warden, and that really opened things up. Because the kitchen hatch was opened up by G2, no one from W7M could retake the bomb site itself. They were left vulnerable, very far away inside of blue, inside of church, and they did not have any line of sight to challenge the injury points for Alamau.
Very easy to be critical of this first half Alamau, but second half Alamau decides to show up and do wonders for the team. Honestly, the moment that they got control of dirt, W7M did not have enough time to pivot. Their focus was elsewhere. Still entrenched over towards blue, still roaming from above. Suddenly G2 says, all right, well, we've got an exploit here. Go through dirt. If we can win the duel, which, for the record, is not always a given on dirt tunnel.
No, rarely is.
They had some utility on the side of W7M there to predict a dirt execute, but the Brazilian team's focus was just too much on the wrong side of the map. And once you've got dirt control and you can sweep through the back of Arsenal, you have so much control.
We've seen this before, but a smart adaptation. Virtue on IQ combined with the secondary MPs from Monty means if Kite was to be played in this round, you know what the Kite Claw is, you can toss those MPs out and guarantee the wall to be opened up. This is a great adaptation to what was a good strat from W7M, but with a bigger guarantee of getting that step one under control. Now the breach is opened up. That means Alamau on the Monty can start wreaking havoc inside of that garage. Of course, garage gets opened up afterwards. You're slowly starting to apply pressure onto a catwalk member. It's Casey and JV together.
That's a lot more damage than I think Ali Mao was anticipating. He's eaten 3 impacts so far. Low on HP. This could completely derail the execute for G2. JV pops up. Thinks that he sees a part of the Monty. Can't find it just yet. 2 separate players. I don't know how this works out well at all. Can G2 get themselves out of this predicament? W7M have played it perfectly so far.
Yeah, I mean, when keepers on the board, it is so hard to deal with. Second nade goes out on the second barrier. It's low-value grenades, but they have to do it.
They're losing their hold on the other parts of Garage, and that's the bigger focus for them at the moment. W7M will allow this Monty to continue to push upwards, and Ali Mao has squared himself away. They know exactly where the Azami is, but they need someone to net that other pick. Could it be Blur? Or could it be Doki now? Called into action, trying to test the reflexes. Ali Mao knows how close he is. This duel to the death, but it's Herds to die to Virtue. Suddenly, W7M have lost a player in a very crucial part. Doki walks up, KZ will swing. He gets taken down. Volps deep inside of the bomb site, last one up. G2 looking to tie Clubhouse. Oh my, W7M must be feeling the heat on this round. Good thing he got 36 bullets still left in that. And good thing reload canceling still in the game. He'll knock the shield away, reads into Doki. There's another pick. Volps at the moment seemingly unstoppable, but keeping point out on the balcony. Virtue gets the final kill, and we got a tie game.
A full commitment by G2. The keeper barriers go out, they go, okay, we gotta nade the first one, this sucks. Second keeper barrier goes out, we gotta spin our last grenade just to allow Alamau up the staircase. But it pays off. The round and forcing W7M's timeout now, as they gotta turn this boat around. It's sinking.
How do you turn around a sinking ship?
I was
when you say you had to bail out a sinking ship.
They gotta bail out of the sinking ship.
Smash the idioms.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's on me.
Igor slapping that timeout button, trying to talk to this team. A great statistic for my good friend, Jesse J. Chick.
Okay. Tell us.
W7M have the highest conversion rate after calling a tactical timeout, sitting at 75%.
Is that just for the following round? Like right after?
That's what they convert the next round.
The next round.
The next round.
Okay.
No, 5 rounds from now.
It could have been like, I don't
Hey,
know.
we intend to watch them play tomorrow and see what they convert one of those rounds instead. W7M, though, as we have seen with a lot of teams, and you and I in particular talk about how good are teams after settling things down, talking shop, talking strategy. Whether it be an emotional timeout to get the mental of a team in check, or whether it be a more strategic timeout, saying, hey, let's swap up some operators, here's what we're doing wrong, let's get the strategies going a different way. You called it out every single time, call out. Went with the timeout. You'd always see Forrest in those Astralis games we casted going towards Ella.
Yeah.
That was probably not an emotional timeout, it was probably more of a strategic timeout. Have W7M changed anything up that you can see after that timeout?
They changed the bomb site, that's for one, and of course it's gonna bode for different operators, but I can imagine for W7M, it's gonna be half strategical and half just, you know, calming things down. One thing that this roster struggled with, as Charlotte Major, previous events, etc., was the nerves, the pressure, when things got real. Well, with Julio being added to the roster, he brings that experience, he brings the knowledge. And speaking to Julio, he always says that one of his key jobs in this roster is to keep people able to do their jobs. Make sure that they're comfortable, and when things are not working out, be like, guys, it's okay. And it seems to have been working out so far, but in the grand finals, when things matter the most, and you tied up 4-4, now more than ever, you cannot slow down.
For W7M, it could also be a confidence booster. This is a team that has never been in this position before.
Ever.
As you heard from the desk, the best place finish at an international competition for W7M so far this year is 3rd. That means that you are not competing in the grand finals. You are not playing for the trophy in front of a crowd. And while yes, you are playing in front of a crowd, and they have done so not just in Brazil, but also here, it's a big difference when you've got so much on the line. G2 pick number 1 in the round. KZ decides to run past a window, and G2 thank him for that decision.
Playing close to the side. Of course, the frost mat's gonna be a problem later on if you were to jump in any of those side windows. The bandit from Hertz not actively tricking right now, but looking to down that jacuzzi wall where Benja is rotating toward. Nobody from G2 on the windows. And even if they were to rotate there, these keeper barriers keeping Hertz safe. One on the drone hole, one inside of Jim blocking that window line of sight. That means that the jacuzzi walls should stay intact. G2 doesn't have any other way in than the windows and construction. That's what the crossfires have been established by W7M. JV92 downstairs with 2 impacts in pocket, holding that main stairs and possible plant deny.
They just need to wait now. 1 minute left. G2 on that main floor. JV rotating deep down below on the bottom floor. Up blue, he will go. Oh, Doki's nearby. He hears it. Doki knows this, he loses it. JV the better shot. But JV's in a tough spot. He's just gonna waste time, that's perfect. Keep somebody busy. 2 separate players from G2 now on the hunt. JV close on the door, he gets away. Reassessing, losing the duel to Ali Mal. Lion scan goes off a bit too late, final 30 seconds, but W7M are actually in great shape to defend this, given the fact that they're at a disadvantage in numbers. It's not a given at the moment that G2 is gonna win this bomb site at all because they'll have to go through the window. Herds, so good, there's a frostmat, Blur gets it, last second against the panel with diffuser down. He'll get towards the halfway mark. Volp's retaking. He sees it. They get off. Only good enough for 1 kill. But it's perfectly timed. Nobody there to get on the diffuser. By the skin of their teeth, W7M regain the lead.
And again, that all boys on JV wasting so much time with that flank. Put Recruit back in ranked, yes please.
No.
Parker,
Okay,
I'm gonna
fine.
expose you. We signed.
I know.
We signed it.
I know I said I
On
won.
the backside, it was like, do you agree or do you disagree? We both agreed.
We both agreed.
We miss it.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Wow, what timing by Volps though, look at that. Sometimes you really do make it your own. Ali now just a tiny bit too late. 1 second, and it's very likely that he's able to grab the diffuser, the case in hand, and get it down, or at least start the process. G2 is within striking distance still on this map. It must be a bit too close for comfort given W7M's record. Undefeated so far through the Six Invitational on Clubhouse. G2 on the opposite side of the coin, they've never won it.
I'll say, I don't think G2 has ever lost a round on time since the group stage. Going back and watching the matches, last time they played against W7M on Cafe, they were always executing with like 5-10 seconds left and losing to time rather frequently to a plant not going down. But then we look at G2 in the lower bracket gauntlet, right? Always winning rounds in like 1 minute and 40 seconds, never struggling with time. That round that we just saw on Gym Attack was the first time they've genuinely looked like they needed more time than they had. That's a rare look for G2.
It was a mid-round, right? We said all you need to do, W7M, all you need to do is wait.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why is that?
There was a minute on the clock and G2 were languishing at that point in the middle. That's the real deal. Oh. KZ, what a shot on a Doki.
Disgusting.
That's a thinker for sure. What a shot.
Opening kill is very important, of course. And whenever you find them as a defending team, you played nice and tight in the bomb side, playing that 5 versus 4. You have 1 extra gun, and G2, well, they have 1 less set of grenades. You could really want to use that. With the Asami keeper barriers, the mine magnets needs comfortable positions on the bomb side that are very important to defend. Well, with the nades being used for utility, the members of W7M, they're going to be safe on the bomb side.
Virtue go to work. Down 1, down Doki. The story for G2 has been that 1-2 punch of Benja and Doki, who so far amount to just 11 kills, the same tally that Volp sits at, and the same tally that KZ sits at. Your fraggers on G2 are just not getting it done right now. How many other teams have we seen this happen to against W7M, though?
That's the thing.
It's not Benja and Doki falling off, it's that they're running into players who are just as good as them in their respective roles. But in W7M's case, they're not just as good, they're better right now.
Right now, they're the better team.
Better team, better players.
Better team, better players. Mid-round for G2 again, things are just slowing down. They're not being granted openings, they gotta look for them themselves. Flashbang's going up, but there's diffuser case bottom main stairs.
And it's gonna be a mad scramble. G2 stacking bodies over towards the church door. They barrel in, shotgun in hand! Volps is a monster! W7M moved him at point.
They're not giving G2 any openings, and they sure aren't giving them any free rounds either. An attempt of a rush down the main stairs into Moto through the side door. Well, they find a shotgun and a Toxic Babe. 3 members fall immediately. G2 falling apart in the mid-round because W7 don't give them anything. They take the first kill, they sit back on side, and they don't expose themselves to any unfortunate angles.
Oh, baby! What a shot. I was trying to emulate the slow-mo, but figured it would speed up at some point, didn't do it. Makes me look foolish, doesn't it? Look at that.
Tough.
When W7M dropped JDN, there was some speculation about why that was. And then they brought in Julio.
Then it makes more sense, right?
Makes a lot more sense. What does he bring to the table? Experience, a calmness, leadership.
Flexibility in terms of operators.
There are only 5 Brazilian players, from Brazil at least, that have lifted that hammer. Julio is one of them, and you can see the experience he brings to this team. You can see the flexibility that he brings to this team. He plays those challenging roles. He plays those unsexy, thankless roles, and he does so remarkably well. Even if his stats on paper aren't very good, we will refer back to those intangibles.
Yeah. Speaking of flexibility, just allowing his teammates to play more loose as well. Sense gets going out, the wall is gonna cover things up. It's a bait. Elmau on the glass, tries to go for an opening onto KC. Damage going out, no kill though, no death. The aggression trying to be matched here from W7M, but no one's dying. There are more smokes to go out, of course, late in the round, but Doki-san running out of that gadgetry.
Listen to the sound, that swell of the bass, as it's not being caused by bullets, it's constant explosions as pieces of this bomb site get chipped away at, opened up.
This is a frag grenade glass, by the way, just for information. No smokes in his pockets. The main execute not working out for G2 once again. Have to now rotate across the map, likely going for that office hatch to start working the master bedroom side. It's an easier entry point given the failure of the execute, but time again running low. Good news at G2, all 5 members of W7M have gone back to the bomb site.
Catch! KZ divides, and now he's gone as the nade lands right under his feet. This is a map leading 14 kills on Volps as he goes on a scouting mission with the Yokai drone, looking out onto the breach. Ali Mao's been downed. The glass will need to be recovered.
Did he fall off the roof, or was it the verticality?
Who knows what Carl gets up to?
Exactly.
Wherever Ali Mao goes, hilarity follows. G2 at the moment inside of construction, looking for another bit of that exothermic to go off on the wall. It will happen, second one. W7M not trying to stop this. As you can see from their lineup, they don't have any denial outside of maybe impacts if they left a wall soft. No Bandit, no Mute, no Kaid. There's that sense that you talked about. Toxic gas lingering in the breach in construction where G2 had stacked up a couple players. Nades from below. You don't see this on a glass every single day of the week. Onto the floor, it blows up, and Herd swings. Virtue picks up kill number 2 for him. Suddenly G2 have reduced W7M to a single player. That leadership of Julio will go below. He's got information inside the bomb site. He'll try to stop Blur on that diffuser, but you have to pick your poison. In the post plant, G2 managed to walk away successfully, and now Julio has the unenviable task of getting back up top. 10 seconds off the diffuser already. G2 are not going to contest this down below. It looks like they're just going to stay upstairs. They know what Julio needs to do. They'll engage but through the floors. I guess waste as much time as possible. A bit of a cocky play from G2, but that's their thing. They stave off defeat for at least 1 round, and we will need all 12 in map number 1.
Virtue on the Nuke finds, what, a triple kill in the round? Finds the grenade as well? Unheard of. He's been mostly on the supportive cast of G2 at this tournament, together with Alamau. But in that round here in Clubhouse, they are the enablers for the team. The glass to start off the first initial execute, sure, it didn't work out, but that was the role that Alamau played. Then Virtue on the breach gets 1, is followed up time and time again, gets a second. G2 had to go for kills. They did just that. They recognized the plan was not possible. There was only 16 seconds left when they get that first opening kill onto the bomb site itself, so again, time is a problem. Echo being played by Volps does not work out. Yokai shot earlier in the round. We need all the rounds we can. 6-5. Still, of course, W7M having the lead. They choose to go to the bar bomb side. What could be the very final defense in Clubhouse.
10 seconds remaining.
Unless the two can pick this apart.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, whether you're a fan of G2 or a fan of W7M, we're at least starting off this contest with as close of a match as you're gonna get. Unlike previous days of this event, we've got unlimited overtime.
Oh, right.
And it's something that you know quite well.
That was a coastline game that one time.
Don't say the word coastline. My eyes glaze over and I start sweating. If these teams go to overtime, it will become a win-by-2 scenario. If the teams keep trading rounds back and forth, then it will go on indefinitely. We could have 30 rounds of Clubhouse. We don't know.
Oh my god.
I kind of want that.
The chaos, yeah. I would want the chaos as well. W7, they have this soft timer. They can burn a minute on the extended roam, then fall back, not surrender any opening kills. That has been their motto so far. Do not die early. We will be okay on the side. They have the Solace. So again, they're playing that post-line position downstairs. Recognizing the time is slow, but Doga just swings in aggressively.
Can we talk about W7M with the map on the line going to bar stage? A bomb site that we haven't seen so far? That's some serious cojones.
Once upon a time, Rogue did it. They won a major.
Ali Mao swings onto Volps, but they trade back. The longer these trades happen, G2 will benefit from them. A 3v2 with half of the round to go. W7M keep it close, and now it's Herd sneaking up. The Nook of Benja doesn't know this is coming.
Oh, what?
Trade! The shotgun of KZ will look for the remainder of Blur.
A trade?
A trade. A 1v1 for overtime, or a 1v1 for W7M to win their map. Which is it?
Just a minute left.
These are what live events are made for. KZ swinging, Blur looking, he sees a single shot, but that shotgun does so much damage. There's the flash. KZ backs away, Nitro Cell goes in, the dance between the two. Excellent partners, KZ flash, but he drops, he'll have to run on back. Blur has a drone active on the field, but might not have information. Whether they hear it happening, the only thing blinded from that last flashbang is Blur himself. KZ has a read, Blur needs to reposition. W7M take their first map.
They do it in style, they swing. They don't play for time, they have the information. They win in the 1 versus 1 when it matters the most on their map pick. But that's the expected outcome, right? They took the advantage in veto, they could choose any map to phase G2 on, they choke club, and it's still 7-5.
The expected outcome is correct. 6-0 on Clubhouse for W7M at the Six Invitational. Whether they win the hammer or not, they will go undefeated on that map. Nobody can change that. Bank up next. For G2, you have to take some comfort in the fact that it was at least very, very close.
Yeah.
But we wanted unlimited OT, doesn't matter who wins. In this instance, W7M continue their reign of terror. We could have 4 more maps to go, or we could have 2. We don't know that. Let's throw to a break and then come back with more